Survivor's ready!
Direct from Hobart, it's time for you to hear those so-called experts from Survivor Oz talk about another reality show, despite the fact they always said they would only ever talk about Survivor. It's the Amazing Race Oz, and here's your host,
Noah Grove. Hello, people and puffins, and welcome to the Amazing Race Oz Silver Anniversary recap, dissecting and discussing Episode 9 of the Silver Anniversary, Season 25. Very good episode this week, Episode 9. 3 ARzlets and 1 minister today, so very excited. It's quite an honour. So let's start off with Rossi. Rossi, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, shut up, Noah.
Minister Waterworth, it's a very good, big pleasure to have you on the show. We've never had a minister on the show, so...
Bless thyself, Noah. Bless thyself with holy bacon. And just quickly, have you all heard of the Wave House? Where's the Wave House? I don't know where the Wave House is. Shall we go to the Wave House?
I'm in the Wave House at the moment.
The Wave House. Bless thy Wave House. Thank you. I'm glad to be here at the Wave House.
I've been all season trying to get a name for you. Like, I've got 3 ARzlets and 1 Ben. I've finally found it. It's the minister.
Bless thy Noah Groves.
So you're gonna be doing a lot of weddings, I'm hoping.
Well, I can
look. Summer.
I can marry any of you together, like throughout this episode, and you are bound by the.
Do you have a say in it, or do you just wave your wand and it's
no? So I'm.
It's not a detour.
No. Let's just say Noah will end up married at the end of this podcast. To who? You can vote now. Text in.
I vote for Rossi.
He's the bookie's favourite right now.
Bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the episode, but yes, normally he's always last, but we've got another special guest this week. So Jared, Mr. Sideways, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. It feels weird being out of order, so I'll just have to try and get used to that.
Apologies. And also joining us, making her debut on the Amazing Race Oz, and that's right, her. It's a woman.
Yay!
It's actually a girl who does podcasts. My nemesis and my rival, Mrs. Kristening herself, Kristen Kana.
What?
Kana. Kristen Na, welcome to the show.
That's not my name, but, yo, what's up?
I never even butchered your name that bad. I noticed there was an N in there before the rest of the word.
No, he tried like 8 different words, and I think he got it right once.
I thought if I tried multiple choices, I would get there in the end, but... Kristen, your debut on the Amazing Race Oz.
Yep.
Sounds thrilled to be here, and you said that I may be married at the end of this, Ben. I may also be dead by the end of this, so...
It sounds like you and Kristen already married. It sounds like a conversation Louise and I have every night.
Yes, so it's good to have a rival on the podcast. As I may have mentioned being in the Wave House, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but you may during the episode. It is currently pissing down at the moment, so if you hear a bit of rain, it's Ben's fault. But
yes,
I've actually got a question about this, because I was watching the Amazing Race on the weekend, and I thought, why does it never rain on the Amazing Race? Can anybody answer that for me?
Because Phil Kogan is God.
You never see rain. I'm just so confused. Like, do they purposely pick areas that don't rain? Like, why is there no rain?
I think they just edit it out in post.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it has before, though.
Yes, very rarely. Alright, so general thoughts on this episode. I thought it was the best episode of the season so far. It was very good and kind of a shock elimination, but not really. Rossi, general thoughts.
You say it was one of the best. I thought it was one of the biggest letdowns of the season.
Shut up,
Biggest
Rossi.
letdown of the season?
Yes.
What was letting down?
They built up this major U-turn. We're going to get the cyclists out. Well, whatever. No one U-turns them. They end up almost coming back from doing all the challenges, essentially. And it was not dramatic at all. There was no suspense. I knew they were going the whole time. It was boring and pointless.
Surely them getting U-turned would have been much less suspense and would have been definite them going home. This is what made it so great, I thought, because they got this comeback and like, oh, will they make it? And, oh, what? They didn't U-turn them. So I would think that them getting U-turned would be less suspenseful.
I see what you're saying, but I don't agree.
Minister Waterworth, thoughts on the episode?
Thank you, child, for that introduction. I think Rossi's full of shit. It was a great episode. I think it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the elimination because they were by far my least favourite team, and I predicted it. Hello, I'm so good at this game. But look, I was very glad that we went to the Wave House. The Wave House got mentioned a lot. The Wave House, the Wave House, the Wave House. Sorry, I can't wait till we get to that part because it was funny. But it made me want to go to Singapore. I've always wanted to go to Singapore, and this made me...
I was thinking that. That was a great location.
I've always...
Is it just me, or is Singapore, like, very Sydney?
I implore people, and here's a tag for the qualifying lap, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. on Edge Radio. They have a Grand Prix at Singapore. It's the only night Grand Prix, was until this year. And it looks...
Till the sun came up.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks absolutely beautiful at night. It's picturesque and amazing, and I would absolutely love to visit Singapore. So thank you, Amazing Race, for making me want to go there even more.
Yes, very Sydney-ish, I thought. But better. We don't like Sydney, do we?
I like Sydney. Nothing wrong with Sydney.
We do like
Emu
Sydney.
Plains is in Sydney, so...
It's no Emu Plains. Jared, thoughts on the episode?
It was good, I think. On paper, it was probably better than it actually turned out. I think having sort of such a tight leg around sort of the city with not that far sort of in between stops had potential to have like a really close race. But my only problem with the leg was there was basically no chances to overtake anybody else. I mean, you had like the roadblock, which one team could do at a time, and then the detour, like the massage, basically whoever gets there first is going to finish it first. And like the tasks in between, they were sort of not that difficult. So that was my really one problem with the leg.
Yeah, we'll get to that massage one, but that was a bit out there. Kristen, not only thoughts on this episode, but also because this is your debut on the podcast, thoughts on this season as a whole. Are you enjoying it, not liking it, hashtag Kristening it? Thoughts on the season and the episode?
I'm actually enjoying this season in general. I think the one thing that I am not particularly liking that's putting it out of my like top few seasons is that there's not really a team that I despise. I have a few like I'm not a big fan of the Dentists, but
Yes.
but generally speaking, like I kind of liked everyone. Like when we went into I can't remember what leg it was, but like, I can't even think back to any team that I really, really hated. Like, the first team out was kind of annoying, and then the Dentists are annoying, and that's about it. But this episode,
did you
I
like
feel like
the Boston Heroes?
Who?
Oh no, fuck them! I forgot this.
Who?
Yeah, who? Yeah, go on.
Anyway, I feel like CBS is kind of on the high this week with Survivor and Amazing Race. I really thought this was a great episode.
All right, let's get straight into it. And starting out the episode was, if I can find my notes, we had to fly to Singapore and search for the coconut stand. And we had the return of booking their own flights at the travel agent. And this was my one complaint about new Amazing Race is I love booking for flights and stuff like that. Like, I'd much rather watch them racing to try and get the best flights and fighting each other over it than like a roadblock. But so that was good to see, and we had the surface and the Dentist just jumping straight in and getting the 6:40 arrival through Paris because they thought they had to go through Paris. I don't know why, but it is the surface, so they're a bit,
Bethany.
And then we had cyclists coming through and getting the 6 arrival through Rome and helping the scientists get it, and then the wrestlers got that team. So straight off the bat, we're like, so is this double U-turn plan just gotten completely to shit then? Like, this isn't going to work. But And apparently there is this new rule this season, once you book a flight you can't change it. That kind of came out of nowhere, but that's a thing. So, general thoughts on the whole travel agency thing. Do you like the new rule, and thoughts on the times? Do you think Adam and Bethany are a bit Beth?
Well, I think the one point you're really gelling over here is the convenience that travel agents are open very late in Malta. Seriously, the service in Malta is brilliant if you want to book a holiday at like midnight. I mean, Jesus Christ. Look, I haven't watched enough Amazing Race to be able to really comment on this new rule. I assumed that would have been a rule anyway, but clearly I would have been wrong, so it doesn't bother me either way, I guess. If anything, I think it's a sensible rule that you can't change it. Like, you should be stuck in exactly what happened to them. Like, oh shit, we didn't do our research properly, so, whatever. But yeah, they got the flight. They're only, 40 minutes apart anyway, and as always seems to be the case in The Amazing Race, you said it never rains. Well, to me, from what I've seen, flights are never delayed in The Amazing Race. They live in an amazing world where flights are always on time and they get there on time.
Ben, flights are always delayed when villains are on the flight.
Of course they are. Mine too, yes. But other than that, yeah, standard booking a flight challenge.
Were you, when you saw that the dentist and the surfers got the wrong, the later flight, were you a bit worried, or, whatever?
A little bit, but I mean, you're not worried with the dentist because you knew if they came last, they were fine. With Bethany, I was like, oh my god, what will happen to them if they come last? But, I think we kind of had this whole build-up about the U-turn thing, so, obviously we'll talk about that when you get to it, but I think that, had certain situations not happened in this episode, they would have been U-turned anyway. So I wasn't too worried because the wrestlers got on the good flight, so I was happy.
Yeah, I was happy for them finally in front for once.
Yes,
that
exactly.
But yeah, sometimes 40 minutes can be a long time in the race, and sometimes it can be a very short window to catch up. But Kristen,
what were we talking about? Booking flights.
Travel agent.
Yeah.
The new rules. Flights.
I didn't even really think about this being a new rule. I kind of like that this is a rule. If they could have just switched right to the earlier flight, then it kind of defeats the purpose of actually trying to find the best flight. And I did think that Jim was really annoying that he was whining about, you told us that this was the only good flight, this was the only one we could take, and I wanted to punch him in the face.
Was it just me, or was Misty looking quite good this episode? I noticed that this episode. Kristen? Ben, yeah.
Sorry. I wanted to hear Kristen's thoughts on the attractiveness of another female. But before...
Well, that's what I was going
Well, before, I just wanted to point out that I was noticing Amy more so this episode than ever.
Amy?
She's... Again, I'm not being racist here, but she's the white one in the suite.
Yeah, the hunchback.
Not that Maya isn't attractive. Maya is very attractive, but I am strangely attracted to Amy this entire season, and...
Oh, what?
Yeah. I haven't seen the hunchbacks.
I would say Maya is better looking than Amy.
And she loves The Amazing Race!
Yeah. Who is the most attractive female on this season?
Was that a question to somebody, or because you cut out there? And again, you've gone.
Kristen.
Oh, there you go. Hello.
What?
Who is the most attractive female on this season?
I don't remember anybody that's not there anymore. I thought Kim was hot though.
Say Whitney.
Whitney's not that hot.
Come on.
She's pretty. I think Kim's hot. I like brunettes better than blondes.
Which one's Kim?
Kim looks like a tiger.
Kim is the one that you actually notice.
Yeah.
Not the one that had the makeup all over her face.
The Joker. Is it just me, or is Kim very Corinnish? I noticed that this episode. Maybe just me.
I'm not into the cyclists. I don't think they're that attractive, so...
But she reminds me
you
of
think
Corinne.
Amy's hot, so you have no input.
I'm sorry. Which one of us here actually likes women?
Although Kristen has a point, like, no disrespect to Amy, but...
Sorry, Kristen's point's mute because she's into men, well, at least that we know, so... that would be like me saying, oh, you don't think that Jim's hot? Oh, your point is not valid.
Alright, moving on.
We didn't bring that up in... Never mind. That was on the Big Brother podcast.
I didn't even hear what you said, you kind of went muffled.
The Jim's a midget.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a big midget.
Jim is a big baby.
Oh, that's right. You brought that up to me, didn't you? That was you, that he looks like a giant midget.
How does nobody see this? I'm just so confused.
I think he looks like a giant baby. He's got such a baby face.
It's like a Terminator still.
Yeah, that's next.
He's a little person.
Yeah, that's on the next episode of talking about people's looks, Oz. But let's get on to the Amazing Race. Jared, the travel agency, the new rule and the flight.
Yeah, I think it's a good change to the rules. I think sort of in past seasons you had sort of people booking one flight and then it was sort of at the travel agent, and then when they got to the airport going around to all the counters and trying to find a better flight and talking to the other teams, and this way sort of you book your flight and everybody's booked their flights, and then sort of too bad if they're on a later flight than you, they can't change to catch up to you. So I think it's a good rule, and I think it will hopefully, probably not this season, but I think in later seasons probably come more into play.
Ross?
I think they implemented this rule because the budget's getting low, so they can't have people buying all these tickets.
That's probably quite true, actually.
Yeah, and I'm sure Myrna must have been upset because she's the queen of booking additional tickets.
Yeah.
So she must have been upset about that.
Myrna is the ticket queen, that's true. So we arrive in Singapore, as we already mentioned, the very lovely city of Singapore. So we had to make their way to the coconut stand, have to drink a coconut. Brooke didn't want to drink it, so if she can't handle this challenge, I'm a bit worried for later on. But yeah, blah blah blah. And then we had this fast forward thing, so riding the wave at the Wave House.
The Wave House.
And Kim and Ali decide they're going to go for it. Then we have like the Team 2's second flight passing them, and I'm probably not the only one screaming at the TV going, "Why aren't the surfers going to do it?" Which obviously we'll get to, but for a minute there I was like face palming. But I think we'll probably just jump in and talk about the fast forward at this point. And to me, maybe not the challenge, but this was the best fast forward in Amazing Race history, I think, because it's not as fun as watching someone get their head shaved, but just rarely is there drama in the Amazing Race, and I thought this was quite tense, like, oh, will they get it, will they get it? Oh no, Adam's sucking at this, so I thought it was very well done and very entertaining. So, Jared, thoughts on riding the wave, the fast forward, and all the drama that came with that?
Yeah, I agree. It was sort of really suspenseful just having the countdown, whereas sort of with other tasks, it's just basically whoever gets there first, and then if they can attempt it, then the other team sort of has to wait, and the only way they'll get another shot is if the other team pulls out, whereas this, you fall off and then the other team gets to go. I mean, overall, I think it was good. The main thing was that it was just sort of a bit weird having this type of challenge in a season with surfers, and it kind of bugged me a little bit because I'm like, it's not like Singapore is really known for surfing. Like, if it was like maybe sort of Hawaii or something, you could kind of understand having that type of challenge. I don't think they intentionally rigged it, but it was just kind of a bit, ugh.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but then when I saw Adam do it, I was less upset about it because it was kind of like, well, it is quite difficult. Ben, riding the wave at the Wave House? Fast forward.
The Wave House, yes, we are talking about the Wave House. The Wave House. Bethany and Adam love to talk about the Wave House. It was... I think it's interesting that Jared said that because I was kind of thinking like, oh, how convenient that you have a surfing challenge when you have two surfers. But like we've also, I think, mentioned that a lot of challenges this season have been very one-armed friendly. So look, read into that which it was entertaining. I was like you, as soon as they said like a surfing challenge, I'm like, Adam and Bethany, are you going to take this? But
yeah. Maybe let's just read the clue and then we'll see what it is. Yeah. Oh, it's surfing.
But like, the thing that I thought was interesting is that if you are, like, I can get the risk and I get you 40 minutes ahead because, you know, that can give you an advantage in going for the fast forward first. But would you want to take a challenge where quite clearly you're going to have a pair that is, you know, they're surfers and it's a surfing challenge? Do you really want to risk that to go against people who do it for a profession? Like, you might say, oh, look, if we beat them, hey, all glory to us. And clearly Adam, you know, it wasn't as easy surfing as clearly surfing the big waves, dude. But I don't know, like, if that was you and I, Noah, in the Amazing Race, and we'd lasted that fucking long, go us, I would have been like, look, really, is it worth the risk going to go up against two people who are clearly going to do this because that's what they do for a living? So that would have been my only thing. Like, I think they were silly to try it despite the time advantage they had when clearly, you know, you wouldn't.
I'm divided on it because 40 minutes can be a long time. Like, that's a fair few tries at it, but I can see what you're saying.
I would have been hopeless. I'm hopeless at balance. I'm hopeless at
I
things
could
like
never
that
do
anyway.
that,
So
John.
I would have looked at it and gone, fuck off. I'm walking on a high rise above a building.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one. Christian, thoughts on this fast forward? Is this the best fast forward in race history?
I've probably only seen like half the seasons and don't really remember many fast forwards, so I'm not really that useful. But I did like the challenge for the reasons that Jared said. That, like, actually I don't know who said it, but I'm not paying that much attention right now.
I can tell.
Because, like, I did like that there was the timer, and that, like, you saw them trying and failing, and then you saw it was like the whole, like, tension of Adam and Bethany showing up and not being able to find it, and then Kim and Allie seeing them show up, and then kind of seeing Adam screwing up. Like, I thought it was pretty decently. I don't think it was edited in a particular way, but I thought it played out pretty well, where it was like you weren't like. I think we all kind of knew that once Adam and Bethany got there that they would win, but or would get it before Kim and Allie, but I still thought it was interesting, and I can't really blame Kim and Allie for trying it because I don't know race history that well, which is very clear right now, but I feel like usually once a team goes for the fast forward, most teams are like, oh, it's already over, like, there's no point in even trying to go second because it's already going to be done. I don't know if that's true for most seasons, but I feel like it is. So
I've got the records here, and it says they're only the second team who lost to a fast forward to another team after Joey Fitness and Danny in season 20. So it's only the second time that's happened.
Okay, and they were dumb, so I don't really blame. I don't really put that past them. But yeah, just that, like, I don't think it was the worst idea, because I think that if they would have stayed there long enough and Adam and Bethany hadn't shown up, that they would have been able to finish that in a decent amount of time and still been able to come in first.
Yeah, I don't think it's that dumb either. I just loved the way this all played out, how Kim and Allie actually didn't suck at it, and then Adam sucked at it, and then it was like, oh no. And I do wonder if Adam and Bethany got it on their second time, or if they cut a lot of it out, and both teams had lots of tries. But just the way this all played out was great, I thought. And I can currently hear some thunder, so fun times.
Just one quick thing to really be rude and interrupt. Bethany looks bloody good in a bikini.
I think Bethany looks bloody good all the time, but...
True, but just in a bikini, it adds an extra element to her.
Wow, very loud thunder right now. Hopefully I don't
Oh my god,
fried.
Snug's about to get destroyed!
Yeah, if you stop hearing from me, I'm probably dead. Rossi, fast forward.
I'm pretty shocked it wasn't a teeth polishing challenge or something like that. To give the dentist another boost.
That's a good question. If each team, like, if it was rigged for each team, what would the challenge, like, you'd have a wrestling one, like...
Bike ride.
Making candy.
Bike riding.
Making candy.
Teams must make a bag of candy.
Teams must study candy and see which is more fattening than the other.
What was it that Brooke said, keep saying through the episode, like, I'm a wrestler and they just, like, study milk. Like, she said something funny that... Yeah, I love Brooke.
I love them
go
both.
on, Russell. Yeah, they're the best team. Go on, Rossi.
I'm surprised it actually was a challenge, though, to be honest. Usually it's eating ice cream or tying a tie or something ridiculous. So I'm glad it was actually a challenge. And there was a bit of drama in who would get it. So that was good.
This is going to be bad host from me, but is this the first fast forward of the season? Or did we have another one?
I think it's the first, isn't it?
Which is quite late, because normally there's 2 in each season, unless it's the first season when there's 1 on every league, but that's another story. Yeah, so that's quite late, so we're probably not going to have another one. Anything else to add, Rossi?
There may have been another fast forward that no one took.
Oh yeah, they may have just not shown it.
Because they may have not shown it at all.
Yeah,
but this
true.
probably was our first, so...
Yeah, so then I think we all knew as soon as Adam and Bethany got it, and you see Kim and Ali putting on their clothes, that I think we all knew this was the end of Kim and Ali. Plus, we knew the U-turn was coming up, which obviously didn't get used, but yeah, it was kind of the end of them, unless it was a non-elimination. And then I laughed. Ali had all this terrible makeup drown, like the Joker, and like, I didn't want to do it, and shut up! Like, yeah, they used to be the fun friends. They're turning into the feisty friends now. Like, so
Ashton and
I think
Christy.
yeah, they both knew this was the end for them, but it was funny to see them just going at each other's throats. But so that was a big part of the episode, and probably the best part. And moving back on to the other people who didn't take the fast forward, they're going to the Marina Bay Sands Hotel for the next clue, and we have our next roadblock, High Wire Act, sorry. So we had to do the tightrope across the buildings, which looked very, very scary. Brooke, Maya, Jim all did it. Thoughts on this roadblock? And when Jim fell, was anyone else shitting themselves like I felt bad for him at that point. Poor little baby midget. Ben,
I was cheering.
I was thinking of you, Noah, this whole time. I was like,
I would never do that, Chelsea.
I mean, I don't like heights either, and I reckon I would have struggled doing that because that is a fucking high challenge. I mean, those things are obviously extremely high. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think once you got a rhythm of it, it was fine, and clearly, the females were very well suited to it because obviously it was good for like light, nimble body weight. And we saw that with Jim, like he just struggled with it. And yeah, when Jim fell, like I was like, fuck. But I love Misty's reaction because they kind of had the camera on her as he fell because she was kind of like, oh, and then like the way they edited all that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was. Standard high-rise challenge, was it not? Good on.
Heights challenges are always good, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine, and an enjoyable challenge in Singapore.
Although, do you think this heights challenge? We've only had 2 this season. Do you think it was a bit too similar to the one we had in Morocco, crossing the bridge? Like, you'd maybe have this one and like skydiving or something.
I think this would have been scarier because I think kind of like not saying the one in Morocco wasn't scary, but that's just kind of in a nature area. You've just got, it's fairly quiet. It's, but I think like the thing that made this scary was like you're in a bustling city. There was that one shot where you saw a plane like flying, and I mean, that looked fucking close. I would have been shitting myself. Like if I see a massive jet like flying near you.
Just blowing you off the road.
But like, yeah, I think this would have been a lot scarier in kind of an urban environment as opposed to a nature environment.
Do you think the show would get cancelled forever if someone died on The Amazing Race? Imagine if Jim just fell.
Did French Survivor get cancelled?
I think they brought it back, but they're the French and they're crazy.
Yeah, they just bend over and take it, so whatever.
Imagine if there was just no care for death or anything on TV. It's like Phil on the seat. Jim has just died.
Well,
teams continue on to the pit stop.
Like, yeah, just exactly like, and they just show like a splattered body. That is Jim's body. He is dead. Misty is now eliminated. But
Misty, you have been forced to be eliminated. I'm sorry to tell you.
And Phil on the scene. Good. I'm glad you brought that up. Phil, with him in the background, like, this is happening behind me, but this is happening over there.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but this Phil on the scene was quite good to have Phil on the scene, but it was kind of like, Kim and Ellie are at the pit stop, and Amy and Maya are doing the roadblock. Thanks, Phil. Like, good job.
I wanted him on the scene at the massaging there, like copping a look.
Oh, look at those cups. He needs to do commentary like Jeff Crow. He's like,
Look at those.
Maya, you gotta pick it up.
Big woman.
Yeah, dig woman.
Big woman!
Jim falling from the wire. Like, yeah, come on, Phil. Rossi, high wire act.
I'm surprised that it was only one at a time, because usually they like to at least have one part of the leg that you can overtake another team. But I guess they got
That's
that.
kind of like what Jared said. The cups were like first in, best dressed. This was kind of first in, best dressed as well. Like, there's no opportunity to get ahead.
I was happy Jim stumbled a bit, so he had to restart.
Poor Jim.
Oh, I would have been shitting myself at that point. Like, just cut it off. I just want to die. Christian, high wire act. And what are your thoughts on this season with Phil on the scene? Because this is your first podcast. Did you like that?
Phil on is probably one of my favorite new additions to Amazing Race that they've had ever, possibly. And this, what was that noise? And this, the high wire thing, that was moderately frightening when Jim fell. But does anybody else really enjoy Brooke's hate for positivity? Like, she's just standing on the sidelines like, look at Maya. She's just smiling the whole time. Look at her. I can't believe she's smiling.
She's a woman close to your heart, Kristen, clearly.
Yeah, she hates everything, and it's hilarious. I love it.
Brooke does do a lot of christening, that's for sure.
I just love Brooke in general.
Yeah, Brooke's great. But I'm just trying to remember what it was she said, like, I'm a wrestler, and there...
She just makes ice cream.
Yeah, she makes ice cream. That was so funny. Jared, high wire act.
I thought it was a good challenge. I mean, apart from not being able to overtake anybody, like, it would have been good if they probably had two wires going at the same time. But when Jim fell, I literally thought that, like, the wire that he was holding onto had snapped, because it didn't sort of look like that he just let it go. It looked like it snapped from his weight, but evidently he was fine, so that was good for him, but it was fun to see him fall.
So happy about
upset
that.
when he was fine. He was fine.
Good for him.
Yeah, so after that roadblock we had, and it was still just Amy Meyer and the wrestlers at this point, but they had to make their way to centre square, and they had to get the next clue from this weird man in a red and yellow thing, which I'm with Brooke and Robbie. I probably wouldn't have picked that out. I'm like, that's just a local, but I guess it was red and yellow, so they got that.
They've had some stranger ones like that, though. One season they had to get their clue from a vending machine that was just walking around.
Is that in Japan?
Brooke and Robbie, I was worried for at this point. Like, they were in the lead, now they're going to lose by this, and this kind of started off the Amy and Maya type hate with, it's over there. So that was that, and then Detour we had China Cups or Chili Crabs. And so I'll ask, like, these were bad, but they weren't the most interesting. Jared mentioned that once you start the cups, once you're in front, that's it. But thoughts on each detour, what was more entertaining, and what would you do, Jared?
The cups, I think, was definitely more entertaining, just purely for Amy and Maya just being in so much pain, and then sort of Brooke just laughing at them, which is just hilarious. I would have picked to do the chili crabs just because, like, they've had like massage challenges before. So, like, I think in like Margie and Luke and Keisha and Jen's like original season, they had like the foot massage, and like, you know that they're always going to be painful. So I would, like, as soon as I saw that, I would definitely pick like pretty much whatever the other challenge was, because I wouldn't want to go through that.
I just wanted to eat the crab. Good. I've been drinking that saucy stuff. Kristen?
Yeah, I thought that the massage one was more entertaining. I loved the cameras that they had, like, through the little hole in the, like, so you could see their faces. We also got a lot of nice, like, side boob blurrage in this episode.
This episode.
It's great.
A lot of it.
It's great.
Even the demonstration person, when Phil was talking, had some side boobs going on.
Yeah, I really liked the locals, like their whole conversation about how foreigners have such a low pain tolerance, and they were hysterically laughing at them. That was amazing.
The racist people.
I wonder if those subtitles were real, or the producers just added these subtitles of these like Singaporeans just laughing and bagging the shit out of them. But
well, we know that they were laughing at them, so that was enough to know that they thought this was one of the funniest parts of their day. And I loved Brooke like cackling about how this feels so good as Amy is like convulsing and dying. But has anybody had cupping done? Because I've had it done, and it's really not that painful. But I wonder if it's a lot more painful after they've like scraped all the skin off your back.
I've never done it. Anyone else?
I saw it being done.
And then I guess
on the Amazing Race. But
no. When I was in Malaysia, we saw it being done like really sinisterly in like an alley. And I honestly, like seriously, I had never seen it before. So we honestly were like, "Oh, this is some weird way Malaysians take drugs in alleys." Like, what the fuck? But now this makes sense. I'm like, "Oh, okay, it was just a therapeutic skin massage." But
how long do the bulbs stay on there? Like, not the bulbs, like the balls, like. When they were leaving, their backs still had like the bumps in them, Kristen.
Yeah, that'll last for a few days. Like it, I think when I had it done, they only put them on for like 10 or 15 minutes. But you like bruise really bad. I think that in the preview, I don't know if you watched the preview, but I think you could see that Robbie still had all the bruises on his back in the next challenge. But and just real quick on the other challenge, I decided that Probst needs to get a flute and cymbals to harass people during their challenges. And I really enjoyed that. Like any challenge where there are people just annoying the shit out of you is amazing.
That was great when they and I loved how John and Murray from the Australian one would have been loving it, because Jim had his rape whistle with him, which was good. Loved Jim with the rape whistle, so that was good. Rossi, challenges, and did you like the annoying locals?
First, someone said something how the massages were always painful, but in the Amazing Race, Australia versus New Zealand, those were pretty nice and comfortable, so
That's true.
I don't know, I can't always agree and say that all massages are painful. So I probably would have gone to that because it's like no work. Sweet, you get to get a massage and move on. So I thought that would have been more fun to do. Well, better to do.
Just doesn't seem like something that would be pleasant, having massive burning cups on your thing and then bruises. Like, is it supposed to be good? Was it actually massaging, Kristen?
I got it when I had acupuncture done, so I didn't actually have it done like with a massage. It was a long time ago though.
did it work?
Got a double feature.
Yeah, I didn't like either of them, so oops.
That's not unusual.
On Twitter, I just had acupuncture and cupping. I hated it. Hashtag.
It did not help my back pain, which is what I was there for. It wasn't supposed to be relaxing.
Well, I've never had it, but I would agree with you that it doesn't look like it would help with back pain.
Kristen, did you have blurring motions on your side boob? Like, does it just appear?
No.
That comes with the massage.
Here, have some blur on your side boob.
I would love that, like, Singapore is too poor. Oh, that's funny, Singapore. To have graphics, so they just get these cardboard blurs and your side boob. It's very stormy here, but I'll keep going.
It's Singaporeing it snug right now.
I
need Rob's bell. I need Rob's bell. Ding!
Rossi, anything else to add on the detour?
You haven't asked me yet.
I said, Rossi, anything else to add?
You asked
Ben.
him.
I said, anything else to add?
Jesus.
Ben,
You're angry.
thoughts on the detour?
Kristen,
I didn't finish.
Oh, God.
Natalie!
Sideways.
Ben, thoughts on the detour? I don't care if Rossi's finished.
I bet you Kristen's missing Big Brother Oz right now, like.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have done the crab one because I would have been scared that I would have had to eat the bloody crab, so I wouldn't.
You have to eat crab? Crab's awesome.
I don't want to eat crabs. Like, you go to the doctor and get some
Yum.
cream for that. Like, it's not good. The massage one was far more entertaining, not only because we got the side boob, but like the screaming and the pain. And I swear it made Amy walk more hunchbackish afterwards.
Yeah, poor her. She's got a bung leg, a bad back, and then these other backs, and she's like, oh, poor zombie Amy.
But that was, and I loved, like Brooke and Robbie when they're just like, oh, look how much pain they're in, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, hang on a minute, this does hurt. Ow, ow. But I don't know if it was just me, but on the crab one when they're doing it, and we had the man in the crab suit, I'm like, there's a pit stop greeter. If that's not the pit stop greeter, I am going to be angry. And of course, I was quite angry that crab wasn't the pit stop greeter, based on the puffin. Like, come on. But
yeah, I was loving the crab.
Yeah, but look, the I would have done the massage one. I would have sucked it up, and I would have proudly shown off my dinosaur scales on my back.
You have dinosaur scales?
Well,
on your back?
I would have had I got those things on my back.
Ah,
bad joke. Never mind.
Yeah, I get you now. But I'm like, what? Why do you have dinosaur scales? Have I asked everyone about the detour?
I'm finished.
And obviously we had the plan hatched by Brooke and Robbie, Amy and Niall, which Robbie clearly wasn't paying attention to. But so we left the detour and they had to go to Fort Manning's Park for the last challenge in the lion's den. They had to go around searching. Which those lion statue things looked cool. I just want to go on the lion tour of Singapore. That looked awesome. And obviously, Amy and Maya detoured the surfers. And Brooke and Robbie, we're not going to detour. Roblox, detoured.
U-turn.
Good! Oh my god!
Noah, this is the
thunder.
amazing race.
Yeah, Brooke and Robbie won immunity, and then
Are they going to root info?
They were probably evicted.
Yeah, Kim and Ali were evicted from the house, so...
And then the cyclists were fired. And Jim and they were the mole, so...
Yeah, it's the thunder, it's getting to me. But Amy and Maya U-turned the surfers, and Brooke and Robbie, we're not going to U-turn anyone, so... And Amy and Maya were getting pissy with them. Go back! Like, really angry about that. So, thoughts on In the Lion's Den. It was a bit of a nothing route info challenge, but what made it great, I thought, was the whole Brooke and Robbie lying to them, because I genuinely thought that the scientists could lose at this point, and it was pretty funny that they pulled that off, but... Maybe that's the skeptic in me, but Kim and Ali, we're just not going to go to the closest one. We're just going to take a wild guess, and we'll go to this one, and it happened to be the right one. I could be a bit too skeptical on that, but that seemed a bit fishy. Kristen, In the Lion's Den.
The task in general was pretty boring, but a few of the pieces of it were a little bit interesting. I thought it was amusing that I think it was the wrestlers and the dentists that were running around saying, like, they're done about the surfers, like, because they were U-turned and they just didn't care, and they're like, all right, they're out, and that was it. Yeah. So that was kind of stupid. I was kind of confused why they didn't bother U-turning the cyclists. Like, we had that entire, 10-minute clip in the last episode about how they have to U-turn the cyclists, and it's like they end up getting eliminated without ever getting U-turned. So that was
that's what I thought made the episode so good, because we all thought, oh yeah, they're definitely getting U-turned, and Kim and Ali still lost, but it was by very different circumstances. So that's why I love the episode. But
yeah, I agree, because a lot of us were, well, not just us, but people in general were just saying either like I was saying I thought they were going to be out because two people could use the U-turn before them and kind of get rid of the second one and only have the cyclist U-turned. and other people were saying that they would be safe because 2 people could be U-turned and they'd be able to U-turn somebody else and stay in, and it never had anything to do with the U-turn in the end. And I did think, like, if they had, I completely agree with what you said just now and at the beginning, that if they had been U-turned, it would have been even more boring. Like, it wouldn't have even been a question. I don't think it really was that much of a question. I think they were kind of gone anyway, but I'm not really sure how I feel about the wrestlers lying to the scientists about the lion thing, because that just sounded stupid. They're lying about the lion thing, but
lying about the lions.
Poignant. It's poignant.
Singapore.
It's poignant.
Like, I don't know
funny.
I don't know if you do that to somebody that you like, that still has a good chance of being left in the race. Like, the wrestlers at that point thought that the surfers were out. So it's like, why do you do that to somebody that, like, you know, you're going to have to face the next, like, in like 12 hours? I don't think it's the smartest idea. I thought it was funny, but I don't know if it was, like, the most brilliant strategy, because they kind of seem to be slightly working together in some capacity, but I don't know, maybe that's just
Well, I thought about this, and I kind of agree with you, but the other thing is, if this was like the third leg of the race, like, that would be the most idiotic move ever, because we're so close. Like, we've still got so much race to do, but we've only got 3 episodes left. There's probably not going to be another U-turn and many opportunities for teams to turn on each other, so probably wasn't the smartest, but I do think at the last stretch of the race, you do have to play hard. But we'll talk about the rest of the challenge, but I just want to do a whip around of, was this a good move by Brooke and Robbie, or was it a bad move, and any other info you've got on that? Ben, I'm guessing you thought it was good, because you generally like this kind of shit, but good or bad move by them?
Thank you very much. I have a theory on why none of them U-turned the cyclists. I feel that we had a very a sneaky Amazing Race editing that made, obviously, the finish look close, but I honestly think that they knew that they were so far behind that they knew that it was not going to do anything to U-turn them. So my theory is that they knew that they were that far behind, because as Kristen said, we had all this, you know, oh, we're going to U-turn, let's U-turn. It was just like the biggest thing ever. And then for the 2 teams who seemed most adamant about it not to U-turn them, it was like, well, what the fuck? What the point was that? So
my question then would be, if they're so far behind, why wouldn't you just use it then? Like, there's no harm. You're never going to see them again.
True. But, like, I don't know. That was just my theory on it, that's
why. Do you
why.
think, and maybe I get way too skeptical about the Amazing Race sometimes, but do you think the producers maybe suggested, maybe you don't U-turn Kim and Ali so that there's more drama? Or
possibly.
Am I too skeptic sometimes?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, that could be a possibility, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure, like, we've talked about it on Survivor, like, there is influence from producers in certain aspects. I mean, they're not going to flat out come at the thing and say, do not U-turn them. Like, you know, or you could not U-turn anyone and just keep going. Like, I'm sure there's, you know, sneaky things said. In general, I liked the whole, like, find the right line. You know, I'm sure they're spread out quite significantly around Singapore, so it makes it a bit challenging. As for the lie, you know, I can see Kristen's point, I can see Noah's point. If that was me, though, I would have done exactly what they did, because, yeah, okay, Kim and Ali might not have deliberately told them, oh, look for the guy with the yellow and red thing. Like, I don't think we kind of saw a confessional for them saying, oh, we deliberately did that. But if Brooke and Robbie perceive them as having done that deliberately, to them that's just revenge. And I'm that type of person. I think
Brooke and Robbie think of the worst of everyone, like Kristen kind of mentioned before.
Yeah, like, I
just think bad about everything.
But I would be like that. I'd be like, well, those fuckheads did that to me, so I'm going to do this to them. So, yeah. So, like, in all fairness to them, in their perception of it, I think they've just conducted revenge and, you know, whatever. Can I just ask a question? This might be something you're going to raise, and I'm kind of going slightly on a tangent here. But given that there's, 3 episodes left, are we going to have a non-elimination leg between now and the end?
Yes.
Okay, right, we can. Thank you.
So,
it'll be the next episode, likely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was quite stupid in our Amazing Race Facebook chat, because I kind of thought, what? There's going to be 2 non-eliminations? It doesn't add up, but I didn't do the math properly, but so next week, we've got 3 episodes and 4 teams, so... hang on. Have we got 5 or 4 teams?
We've got 4 left.
We've got 4, so next week is a non-elimination. Then the one after is a normal leg where 4 becomes 3, and then the final is 3. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, I know I jumped a tangent, but
Morella already explained that. I'm still getting confused by it.
I have a random tangent too, if I can bring it up.
Do you want to now, or do you want to save it?
Well,
it's
about the U-turn anyway, so it's like kind of not that much of a tangent. Do you think that it would have made any difference if they had waited until the what was the thing called, that the save? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
If they'd waited until the save was out, like, do you think more people would have targeted the dentists for being stronger if, like, they're passed out last week and they had the U-turn this week?
Yeah.
It just seems weird that there was the U-turn and, like, it was a double U-turn. It could have been used on 2 teams, but, like, no one was going to use it on one of the 5 teams, so it seemed like almost kind of pointless.
I think it would have been better, that's a tough, because the save's still in there, so no matter what, if they U-turn Missy and Jim, they're not going. But I guess they wanted a team out.
I think I agree with Kristen's point there to jump in there that like had the save not been in play, that people might have, because people might not target them purely on the basis that there's no point if we target them in their last, they're going to be saved. So I think I agree with Kristen that had they saved it for say after the non-elimination, they knew that the next team was going, that they might have then been like, well, of course they can go home at this point. Let's target the dentist, because they've been they've won 4 legs. Have they won the most?
That's kind of, they have won the most. That's kind of an interesting point from Kristen though, because the save is maybe even much more powerful than what we even thought it was at the beginning, because it's kind of saving teams from U-turns now and like not targeting people. So I'm not sure about the save. I liked it in episode 1, but after that non-elimination save, I'm off it.
Going off that, say
and for a tangent.
Say one of the teams had a U-turned, Misty and Jim, and they had gotten so far behind that they were the last team. How would that affect the episodes? Because they would be saved, and then we have 5 teams to eliminate. Would then they eliminate the non-elimination?
There just wouldn't be any more non-eliminations for next episode or the week after.
Is that maybe why they had this in place, so that, for that exact reason? So had they been saved themselves, so you've still got the 5, they've got that backup, okay, we just scrap a non-elimination. But if they do, just don't use it and we've got the 4 left, then we've got the non-elimination.
Here's the skeptic in me, but when they say that the non-eliminations are pre-planned, I say bullshit.
I agree with that. That's like
sometimes
the tribe switch in Survivor. I think it's just on the fly sometimes.
I do think sometimes, because they have to spread it out, like they need to do one at the start, one in the middle. Like sometimes it's planned, because sometimes a team gets saved from a non-11 where it's like, what? Why them? But I think a lot of time they jump around to work with the season.
So there's usually 3 in a season?
Yeah, they used to do 4, I think, and in the early seasons, they left them all for, like, the end. They did 1 near the start, and then the end, like, the last 4 legs, and that were all non-eliminations and that, so... But, 3 per season.
Okay, thank you.
Jared, thoughts on Kristen's point about the save and the Brooke and Robbie move and the challenge, and there's a lot of rain at the moment.
That's Noah's rain stop dance for those who weren't listening to us before we hit record.
And as soon as I did that, the rain got heavier and heavier.
Noah's about to lose his, Snug's about to go. This is why we're big. This is why we're big in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, because it's so good for the rain. Yet the podcast awards we won't ever win one because of this high technical ability.
Send help!
I'll contact the Snug SES.
Make an arc.
Noah, do what your name does and build an arc.
Jared, you talk about the detour while I mute my mic for a minute.
Okay.
Roadblock, sorry. No, route info, sorry. I'm quite confused.
The eviction! Who's the mole?
I thought the task was sort of good overall. I think Brooke and Robbie's move was stupid but entertaining. I think stupid just in the sense that if it had kind of worked and Amy and Maya had gone home and the cyclists had stayed, like they didn't want that. So just to lie to one of the weaker teams just didn't make sense because you'd want sort of them still in the race. I think on the point about the save, I think overall it's just been annoying and it just doesn't work, and I hope that they scrap it. And then what else? Oh, on the next couple of legs, I'm hoping that it is but wait, you're still racing, and so then there's no more non-elimination legs. Let's hope so, because the next 2 legs are in the Philippines, so they could do that.
I prefer the wait, you're still racing type things over the normal non-eliminations, but so we have to make our way to the pit stop. Yes, Russell?
I think you speak about the move and the lion's den, whatever shit.
Oh, go ahead then. I thought you talked about it. Go.
That move was absolutely stupid as hell. Amy and Maya are pegged as the weakest team at this point in the race, which is fair to say. So why would you risk having them eliminated as opposed to Misty or Jim or Kim and Allie, one of the stronger teams who have been in the front the entire game? I see that as so stupid, and they took a huge dive in terms of gameplay this episode for me.
Fair point. We're going to the pit stop Fullerton Pavilion. What was even the pit stop greeter? I'm struggling to remember.
Worst pit stop greeter ever.
Yeah, who was it?
I think she was like the president of Singapore. I don't know.
Well, you have to argue the carpet shop guy was a little worse. I don't even know what he looked like.
Well, at least the carpet shop guy was like...
That was like a shady Malaysian back massage.
This woman was just like, hi, I'm a random woman they just picked up off the street. Like, at least the guy in bloody Sicily or wherever they were, Italy.
Morocco.
I'm talking about the Italy one. Like, he was like some gang, mafia boss who had a security guard ready to kill you if you looked at him the wrong way. Like, this woman, Phil didn't even talk to her. Phil was like, oh, they're in love. Like...
I just watched the end of it right then to see, and yes, it's just some random woman in purple who Phil is completely ignoring, so... We say that Jeff Probst is sexist sometimes. Maybe Phil's sexist.
Well, we know he's afraid of gay people.
Yeah, hashtag Amazing Race Season 11 callbacks. So we'll quickly... we'll just bundle through the teams that didn't lose, and if you've got anything to add to them, just talk about whichever one or all of them. So first in was Adam and Bethany, who won a Bali trip, and they obviously did the fast forward. First in a row. Then second was Brooke and Robbie. I think they're highest, actually definitely their highest so far. Third was Misty and Jim, who didn't have to use the save. And fourth was Amy and Maya. So anything to add about those teams going forward or during this leg or whatever, Jared?
Adam and Bethany, I like them, but it kind of would have been nice to see them go just so everything was a little bit less predictable, because it sort of definitely looks like they're getting sort of a really positive edit, and they definitely look like they could make the end. As for the other teams, I'm just glad that the save is gone, even though now Missy and Jim will probably finish last and then get oh, you've lost your save, but it's a non-elimination leg, so you guys can just never go home.
Yeah. If Misty and Jim get non-eliminated again, I love them, but yeah.
I don't mind if it happens, but then if they go on to win the whole thing, it will be really annoying.
Yeah. Anything else to add on any of the other teams besides Kim and Ali?
I think just that Amy and Maya have gotten a lot better over the last couple of weeks, and they've definitely sort of moved up in my rankings of the teams and who I like and who I don't like.
Will it be a hashtag Survivor Blindside if Amy and Maya win? Imagine if that happened.
Yeah,
Number
'cause
one viewer blindside.
somebody who just makes ice cream winning would just be such a shock.
Kristen, anything to add on the 4 teams left in the game?
I don't have anything on the teams, but I kind of want to add on to something that Jared said, where about like having a winners edit with what are their names? Adam and Bethany. I don't really see winners edits in Amazing Race that much like I do in Survivor. Like, I don't feel like any of these teams, like, I don't think I've ever actually liked a team that won. Like, I probably have, but it's very infrequent. Like, a shitty team always wins. And
Winners suck on the Amazing Race.
Like, I don't think that, like, winners are edited super positively. I mean, we had David Connor last season as, like, turning into these awful humans. And
we had cancer! Don't you turn us!
And, like, I feel like a lot of seasons are like that, so I don't think that they're, like, a shoo-in to win. I still think the Dentists have a really, really good chance of winning, so that's all I got.
Rossi, the remaining 14.
Brooke and Robbie were stupid. That's all.
Ben, the remaining 14.
Adam and Bethany they've been very bland.
Bebe.
Bebe. Yeah, we didn't hear a Bebe at all this week.
We won, Bebe.
I mean, they've been the last 2 weeks. They've had a fast forward and they had express pass, haven't they? So 2 weeks they've kind of just gone zoom zoom and oh my god, Bebe, we're here. So I still think the final 3 will be Adam, Bethany, Misty and Jim, and Amy and Maya. It wouldn't completely surprise me if Amy and Maya won, kind of just how they get. I mean, look, don't ask me in terms of winners edit. I couldn't tell you one pair that has won the Amazing Race. I honestly have never watched one to the
Daniel and Rob.
I know Boston, Rob, and Amber came second, if I'm correct. So I know they didn't win. But look, I like all the remaining 4 teams. I would probably least preferred winner would be Adam and Bethany, but. Look, good on them if they win. They would be making bebes for some time with their $1 million, probably.
Well, the dating teams who always win, they're like, oh, now we can get married and we can have babies. But, we're going to get married and make some bebes.
Hey, Bethany, do you want to make some bebes?
I seem to be the only one on the Adam and Bethany surfboard at the moment. I'm really liking them. I think they're funny and, like, I'm just very impressed with Bethany because she, like, dominates everything. And Brooke and Robbie are my favourites, but I think Bebe is probably my second favourite.
Yeah, mine too, unfortunately.
And then, alright, let's just quickly do a quick whip around. No explanations, just rank your most favourite team to your least favourite team. Mine would be Brooke and Robbie 1, Adam and Bethany 2, Misty and Jim 3, and Amy and Maya 4. Ben.
Brooke and Robbie 1, Misty and Jim 2, Amy and Maya 3, Adam and Bethany 4. And if you
Kristen.
There you go.
Brooke and Robbie, Adam and Bethany, Maya and what are their names? I don't know any of these people's names. Maya and Amy and Misty and Jim.
Rossi.
Amy and Maya, Brooke and Robbie, Adam and Bebe, and then huge crater gap, Misty Jim.
Wow. I didn't know they were so hated. I love Misty and Jim. Jared.
Brooke and Robbie, Amy and Maya, Adam and Bethany, and then Misty and Jim.
Wow, that's interesting. We're all 4 of us are different. So, of course, Kim and Ali, last team to arrive. It was kind of obvious, but the editing made it look like with Amy and Maya they could catch up. I'm glad they weren't U-turned because it made it much more interesting. The fast-forward meltdown was quite good and all that debacle with Adam and Bethany coming through. I think a lot of us thought Kim and Ali would be in the finals and many thought that they would be the winners. Over the last 2 weeks, they've kind of turned into the villains, and I wish Colin was here at the moment because they were his absolutely favourite team. Like he said that they're one of his favourite teams in race history. So that, but thoughts on Kim and Ali as a team as a whole? They kind of edit from the fun-loving to the feisty-loving. By the end, fast forward meltdown and this, not shock elimination, but kind of shock, I guess. Jared.
I think they were a good team. They definitely, the tone of sort of how they were portrayed definitely changed as it went on. Like, to start off with, they were just having so much fun, and they were definitely one of my favourite teams, and then kind of all of a sudden, really, they just switched round to this team that I suppose the pressure of the race was getting to them, and they were fighting, and then sort of last episode it just came up out of the blue that, oh, everybody hates them, by the way, because they just hang out by themselves, so we're all going to make a pact, and then we're going to U-turn them. So, I don't know, that was kind of annoying that it was just so inconsistent the way that they were shown, but I suppose maybe genuinely, as the race went on, they were kind of just getting more stress and having less fun. But, I mean, overall, they're a good team, so...
Am I the only one who kind of thinks that Ali is like Kim's bitch? Like, feels like Kim is like the leader and Kim's like the popular girl or something, and Ali's just following her around. Like, am I the only one who gets that sense? Probably.
I see it.
No, I see it.
Rossi, Kim and Ali's storyline and departure.
Yeah, they definitely had a slow but sure downfall into.
What the fuck is that?
Okay.
Is that
I
Rupert?
still like them.
Rupert
no.
and Laura on The Amazing Race.
Who the hell U-turned me?
Anything else, Rossi?
I like them. They were fun and they were entertaining. And shocked to see them go. Not in this episode, but like overall, they were a very strong team. So I thought they'd be there till the end, or at least really close. So sad to see them go.
Kristen?
I liked them actually through the whole thing, even through their demise. I thought they were a good, entertaining, and strong team, and I kind of feel like, I know that we just had an All-Star season, but if they end up doing another All-Star season anytime soon, which I hope they don't, but if they do, I think they're kind of a shoo-in, because it's hard to get like those interesting female, like strong competitors, so I think they have a really good shot at coming back.
They would be a whole lot better than Caroline and Jennifer, I'd say that.
Yep.
Anything else on there?
Nope.
Kim and Ali?
Yeah, they were entertaining for a couple episodes. I liked them early on, but I know I just fell away from them in the last few weeks, and I'm glad they were my least favourite team, and I'm glad they're gone. And it wasn't a shock in my eyes, because I think we kind of predicted that last week, really, that they would be gone this week. But yeah, look, that's it. I don't really have anything to add.
That's still what I love about this episode. Like, you may have predicted that, but I don't think anyone saw this is how they would have went.
True.
Like, everyone thought it would just be them getting U-turned, and then that's it.
But, yeah, other than that, I got nothing else that hasn't already been said.
Alright, obviously their hashtag is #cyclist, but give us a better hashtag for Kim and Ali. Jared.
Hashtag... I don't know. Hashtag team pub party.
Oh, you stole mine.
Stole mine!
No one else can do
All right.
pub party.
Alright, come back to me.
Kristen.
Hashtag I don't like this hashtag game.
Hashtag Kristen. Ben.
I had to put up with that for like 20 odd episodes of Big Brother, and I don't like this game.
I do say that a lot.
Sounded like Bethany. I don't like
I reckon Kristen and Bethany would get along very well. And Brooke. Hashtag...
Brooke and Kristen would make a good Amazing Race team.
You could be like tag team wrestlers. That'd be awesome. Hashtag...
I don't want to wrestle. Hashtag Kristen.
I don't like this game. Fuck. Hashtag don't enter the Tour de France.
Rossi.
Hashtag Batman and Joker.
What about hashtag Team No Fun? But that's kind of the dentist, I guess. Alright, fun fact about Phil time. We still don't have an intro. Like, fun fact about Phil.
Fun fact about Phil, motherfucker.
Alright, fun fact about Phil. I actually have Phil Kogan's exercise weekly workout plan.
Get out!
I've got it. I've got his exact plan for the entire week. So
Shut the front door.
Here's what Phil Kogan's workout routine is. On Mondays, he runs in soft sand for 4 miles at 145 to 155 heart rate. Tuesday and Thursdays, he does 90 minutes of bike intervals at 168 to 170 heart rate. Wednesday, he does CrossFit regimen on the beach with weights and running. After an easy ride on Friday, he does 2 to 3 hour group ride on Saturday, and either take off or mountain bike on Sunday. Since 2007, he's done 100 push-ups a day, 20 wide, 20 closer, 21 foot, 20 with a hand on a book. So there we go.
What book is it?
Jeff Probst's autobiography movie.
Must be like Probst. Must be like Probst.
But that's on the off season. Of course, Phil has to keep shape during the race, so I have Phil's race workout schedule, which is a lot busier, so he doesn't get to do as much. But whenever they could, and mostly in the airport, he says he balances on one leg and lift bags like they're weights. He'll press and curl bags and backpacks and do squats and lunges. In the hotel rooms, he's bench pressed a table and put phone books in pillowcases to do triceps extensions. He says he'll use the bathtub for dips and 15 to 30 minutes on the hotel stairs. Run up 1 flight, come down, up 2 flights, go down, up 3 flights, go down. And keep going all the way to the top.
Aww.
So, and then to wrap it all up, we've got where's the craziest place he's ever worked out from. And he's worked out at 15,000 feet in the Andes during a discovery show. They were hiking for days, but he needed a good upper body workout. So he used a tree for pull-ups and rocks as dumbbells. And everyone looked at him like he was nuts, but in a good Kiwi kind of way. So there we go. Phil's workout schedule's not on the off season, during the race, and the craziest he's ever worked out. So he's a machine, old Phil. So
good fun fact.
Yeah, good on Phil. A bit of stats and trivia on Kim and Ali. Kim's nickname is apparently Non-Stop. Probably dubbed by herself. Not much too interesting. None of them dress up like women, like Tim and TJ. Memorable moments. Kim and Ali broke away from the team and explored downtown Oxford in the middle of the night. Yes, very memorable. Their records, obviously I mentioned before, they're the second team since season 20 who lost to fast forward to another team after Joey Fitness and Danny. Fourth female team overall to win consecutive legs after Dustin and Candace, Charla and Myrna, and Nat and Kat. And Kim Perfetto has made appearances in films like Everything's Wonderful, Shot in the Heart, and Premium Rush. And just like last week with Tim and TJ, Kim actually is a YouTuber as well. It's the age of YouTubers. They're all following Joey and Megan, but her YouTube channel is Kim Nonstop, and she has videos with Ali making guest appearances. She has 5 must-haves for healthy travel. She has workout tips, 5 tips on becoming a babe. So yeah, check out Kim Nonstop on YouTube for hers. Oh, big news, plus Kim and Ali outtakes. So
well, I was going to say that you had your fun fact about Phil. I have fun facts about Robbie. I don't know if you've managed to look up much on Robbie's wrestling career, but
well, I feel like you should probably let us leave that for when Brooke and Robbie are eliminated.
But
give us one fun fact about them. We need to save them.
Robbie is part of his TNA wrestling. He's part of a group called the Bromans, which is a stable consisting of himself, Jesse Goddard, and DJ Z. They are wrestlers, and one of his...
I love Jesse.
So do I. And one of his finishing moves is either the foot pump, the FTD, fresh to death, the sure thing, or the spinning lifting DDT.
There we go, Brooke and Robbie. Or Brooke, the Bromans.
Are you aware that Jesse was on 2 seasons of Big Brother US, or no?
Jesse Goddard? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was on 2 seasons of our Big Brother. That's why we know him. Okay, moving on.
You're not alone, Chris, and I know who that is, so...
Yeah, I figured.
Our Americans. Alright, predictions. Joppy, who's no longer watching the season, so I don't know why.
I'm not watching!
Yeah, he said that the cyclist would be 5th, and he's got a lot right, so I'm beginning to think he looked at spoilers.
Yeah!
Which is probably not a joke, because many of these are actually quite correct, so shame on you, Joppy. Jared, you said Kim and Ali would be the winners of the Amazing Race, and you said Keith and Whitney would be 5th, so...
Aww, poor Keith and Whitney.
No point for you. I said Kim and Ali would be the winners of the Amazing Race, and I said Misty and Jim would be 5th, so... Colin said that Adam and Bethany Bebe would be 5th, and that Kim and Ali would be the winners. We've got 3 winners. Alex said that Adam and Bethany Bebe would be 5th, and Kim and Ali would be 8th, so he's off. And where the hell are Rossi's? I seem to have lost Rossi's. Here they are. He said Kim and Ali would be 6th, and Adam and Bethany Bebe would be 5th. So, Rossi, you get a point. Well done.
Woo!
Boo.
Next week we have... we're going to Philippines, as Jared mentioned. Now that Survivor's gone, they can head there. And we've got to switch back to that mud challenge, but I can't remember what season it was from. Jared, Rossi, do you remember when they did that challenge for?
No idea.
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you not watch the next time on The Amazing Race?
I don't watch the next time stuff.
Hipster.
The my ox is broken line.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Kristen?
No. I think it was like season 5. I might have made that up.
It was definitely in one of them, because they've got a switchback, which is...
Sometime before season 2.
Before season 2?
I mean, after
season 1.
2. Move on.
I think it was 5.
We don't really see switchbacks that often, and I'll check before next episode, but it'll probably say in the episode, because they usually do when they do a switchback, but that's it for the episode.
Season 5.
Was it?
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know all that, and all you dumb fucks on The Amazing Race. Like, I know it off by heart. I just waited.
Was it season 5?
I've googled it, and all I can see is season 5. So there you go.
Not Wikipedia.
Google.
Alright, it was season 5. Good season. That's it for this week on The Amazing Race Oz. Very fun episode. I think it was the best from this season so far, and hopefully it gets better from here. 3 episodes left before the finale. Rossi, thanks for being here. Well, not really thanks. You seem to be getting a bit of anger issues this time, but I don't know what you have against Wikipedia, but...
You're cutting out, my friend.
Jared, thanks for being here.
Jared,
thanks for being here.
I'm going to go do my own modified version of the Phil Kogan workout, and because it's Monday, I'm just going to run across the sandpit once and then have a lie down.
Soft sand, make sure it's soft sand. Phil Kogan workout, yeah, he should market that along with his energy bars, the no opportunity wasted energy bar, with his workout tips. Ben, thanks for being here once again.
Just quickly, I've just, before we go, just 2 things. First of all, just received a copy of Jeff Probst's workout, Eat Bacon, Wake Up Naked. There you go. And also, speaking of bacon, by the power invested me by the United Church of Bacon, I now declare Noah and Rossi man and wife. So, congratulations, you two. You are officially married, and a couple. So well done.
Do you also do divorces as well, or just marriage?
Yes, but I charge a lot more. So,
What happens if suicide is committed?
well, then I can conduct the funeral. So Rossi's family, please contact me, and I will serve at your funeral.
Oh, you're a man of many worlds, Ben.
Look, I'm putting my services out there. I'm a man of the cloth now, or the bacon. I'm a man of the rasher.
Thank you.
So are
Minister.
rings made out of bacon?
Absolutely. You can eat your rings.
Thank you, Minister Waterworth, for being here. It was very honour.
Always a pleasure. Blessed eye.
And Christian, your debut. Are you never coming back to this now? After this, how did you enjoy the first episode of your Amazing Race Oz journey?
It was fine.
It was fine. I thought you were going to say fun for a minute when I heard, but it was fine. I think it was fine is a compliment in Kristen's world. So
She doesn't end with a K like she did on Big Brother. So you got more than I ever did.
It was
I think
fine.
I
I'm
said-
taking
yeah.
it as fine.
Oh, yep, K, whatever. It was one word.
Now who is sounding like the married couple here? You two got some unresolved issues from Big Brother Oz.
We don't talk about those times now.
Alright, that's it for this week. Kristen, thanks for being here. Hopefully you join us again. Subscribe to our thingy on iTunes. Leave us a comment about being Nick Frost or whatever it was that I read yesterday. Survivor Oz website. Leave us a comment on this. I've got a challenge for everyone because I know there's about maybe 100 to 200 people who listen to this podcast and they won't leave comments. But if you download this on iTunes, go to SurvivorOz.com, find this on the thing, and leave a comment, be it complaining about us.
Ask them a question, Noah. They have to answer a question.
About the Amazing Race or just life?
About your life in general.
I've got one. Where do you learn the Happy Birthday song?
God, you're bringing this up again.
Send us that on the website because you never sit down and physically learn that song. So how do you learn it? But yeah, I've got a challenge for everyone. Leave us a comment. Like, no one leaves the comments. We want to hear your feedback. Like, I know you're probably sitting here going, oh yeah, I'm listening to this. I'm not going to leave a comment. Go to the website. Leave a comment. You can criticize us. You can be nice to us. You can send us a question about Oz.
I will bless you. Ben. I will bless you from the. I will give you an official blessing from the Church of Bacon.
A blessing from the Church of Bacon.
You can leave it anonymously.
Yeah.
So no one knows you listen to us.
You can put a fake name like Mike Hunt. Oh, that's rude. So yeah, do it. Don't just walk away. This time, be the person. I want to see 100 comments on that.
Yeah,
thing.
Willie LaShawn.
Most comments ever been on a thing. So.
Out to the people.
Stop walking away. Hey, stop it. Go back to your computer.
You're commenter number one.
I can see you walking away over there. Come back. So, yes, leave a comment.
Baby.
We will very appreciate it. We've got 3 episodes left. Let's get some going. Let's make this the most commented thing on The Amazing Race.
Come on, baby.
Answer the question about birthdays.
Yeah, baby.
Come on, baby.
Come on, babies.
Is that your, can you do christenings, Ben?
I can do anything that...
I christen this baby.
I just get a piece of bacon and I drip it on their head.
Oil and, bacon fat.
Yes.
Christen this baby. In the power of bacon.
Jewish people stay well clear.
Yes. So, leave us a comment and all that jazz. Yum, bacon. I want bacon. Thanks everyone for listening and thanks for putting up with the rain. My rain song seemed to work because it's gone. La, 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 la. And we'll speak to you next time in the rain.